Right, folks, time for the two-wheel brigade, the Knights on two wheels to take to the track. We've got the Super Twin Cup, the 650s and the Super Sport 300s going out there. And I see on pole position there, we've got Hutchings, Nicholas Hutchings, Jamie Hall alongside him. Second place there, nice to see Keegan Wasserval and Lance Jonas. Then we've got Garrett Goss and Brandon Hutchings, Maddie van Niekerk and Voda Smith. Then the 390s start up there, Adrian Solomon, and then Abigail Bosson, fresh out of Europe after riding ladies Super Sports. Trevor Smith, Stavro Michelle, Peter Hill, Mitch Robinson, Raymond Alexander, Rona Kotzer, Almi Mostert, and Ryan Kutsia. Ryan Kutsia down right at the back of the pack. He obviously didn't qualify, hence he's at the back there. So he'll get things up and running. Byron, you've been at Short Circuit of late. We've been all over the show, been spread like a rama, a lot of us. We just have to try and be everywhere, but and a little bit thin at that too. But I sort of got a couple of peeks into the Short Circuit, and some of the guys are coming through the ranks pretty quickly.
Well, our pole man at the moment, Francois Nicholas Hutchings, was in scintillating form last Saturday, winning his races on the CBR 150, and he's in a very familiar position. Of course, he's been having a bit of a tough year as well, so it was actually a good way to end off kind of the championship season for Short Circuit before we go to the 8-hour in December. But pole position, a 121.658 compared to the 123.0 of Jamie Hall. Keegan Wasserval will slot into that position as well. Over there, of course, the number 89 machine, Lance Jonas, who also moonlights a little bit as the NSF 100 helper or manager, you could put it like that. He's always helping the youngsters out, and a lot of experience there from the bike himself, and of course helping young Hayden out over the years. Garrett Goss, Braden Hutchings, of course, not having everything his own way in the Short Circuit always, but not like his cousin, but he's always one to watch, as Matthew van Niekerk, Voda Smith. That's of course that top 8, which is all 650 bikes, and we are already almost away to go for this start. Remember, Hutchings on the Project 60 bike, not on a HSC machine.
Start there, trying to get the whole shot, but Nicholas Hutchings flies down there. He cracks a whole shot entry into holes. The two of them sort of have a half-second lead over the third place man there as they roll out of holes up the U-Bear straight up towards Castrol Corner. Jamie Hall pursuing the back end there of Nicholas Hutchings, and the roll in. It looks like we got Jonas in there in third, and have a look at Hutchings. He's absolutely blazing glory away there, and Jamie Hall is really stretching himself to try and stay in touch with him.
The Black Knight, you could basically say. Jamie Hall on that black machine of him, the Kawasaki ER650, down the Joubert, not the Joubert straight, the Tigerberg straight rather, into that double apex right-hander that is Saddle Sweep, and down the back straight for the very first time on two wheels today. And well, you thought that Hutchings had a good start, but also Jamie Hall comes down the back straight over here, twists the throttle completely open over there, and then what happens is we go towards turn 5, Pertamina fast run. No move's going to be made yet, Francois, but this is the first of 9 laps to be completed.
I see there's already a little bit of a tussle between Adrian Solomon and Kagan, and someone goes down. Someone goes down in 5. Not down, it looks like they're holding. Oh, there is a bike down. Someone in the dirt come up towards us. They're going to cross the line, and it's Hutchings. Oh, up behind him it's Jonas. Then it's Brandon Hutchings. It's Maddie van Niekerk. It's Voda Smith, Garrett Goss, Keegan Wasserval. Then Adrian Solomon and Abigail Bosson are having a titanic battle alongside each other.
Oh, that's magnificent to watch in the 300 class there, Francois. They'll be coming onto the Joubert straight right about now and towards turn 2. And Abigail Boston has had some international experience this year, and she's putting that to good use from Imola. You'll see her in that pink and black leathers as she comes around there as well, and that is in the 300 class on the Yamaha.
She's doing exceptionally well. Ryan Kutsia has gone down in turn number 5, so he's out of this one. Very uncharacteristic, so maybe just trying a bit too hard there in lap number 1.
It's unfortunate over there. Hope he's all right, getting back on his 2 feet. But we're now well into the second. As yellow flags will still be waving down in double wave yellows into turn 5, Pertamina fast run as our leaders come through. Of course, Nicholas Hutchings, Jamie Hall still on each other over there. Still nothing between them as they ruck to the line. And Lance Jonas will find himself in a very confident 3rd position at the moment there, Francois.
Braden Hutchings, Mary Fanika, Gary Goss and Keegan Wasval all follow suit there up behind, and that's behind Lance Jonas. But Nicholas Hutchings and Jamie Hall are at it. They're really scrapping with each other now as they work their way up the Bear Straight up towards Castrol Corner. Jamie Hall electrifyingly close there to the back end. Nicholas Hutchings, and Hutchings can't really take a nap right now. It's just not going to work for him as they work their way through the kink. And Lance Jonas in 3rd. Braden Hutchings in 4th. Braden doing well. Is that Van Niekerk? No, it's Matthew Van Niekerk. He's in that comic strip 650. He works his way through the kink down into turn number 3. There's Maddie on screen doing a sterling job there in P4.
Talking about Braden Hutchings there, Francois, only half a second between himself and Matthew van Niekerk as they cross the line. That's a man who needs a stroke of good luck, is Braden Hutchings. And at 4th place at the moment, 5th place at the moment, and challenging for 4th is just what he needs at the moment. Going through turn 4 there, look at how they go through the sweep onto the back straight once again. A 1:22.467, the fastest lap of the race by Nicholas Hutchings himself, and he still maintains the gap between himself and Jamie Hall at the moment. Jamie Hall, a 1:22.5, a 1/10 of a second between them.
Very nice there on screen. You see there comes Nicholas Hutchings on the Project 60 bike. He's been followed there by Jamie Hall. Coming out of 5 is that whole group there up behind Brad Hutchins, Garrett Cross, Rhoda Smith, Keegan Wasval. And then behind them Adrian Solomon and Abigail Bosson in that little Super Sport 300 tussle. It looks like Solomon is pulling away from Bosson. Adrian Solomon has got one very good advantage, a very light young man and a good rider, take nothing away from him, great little rider, but that weight advantage. Abby now grown into an 8-year-old woman, and well, she's got to have to stretch that bike's legs to see if she can come into grips there with Adrian Solomon.
Yeah, a number of 650s between Abigail Boss on 2nd position and of course the 3rd position in class, Raymond Alexander at the moment, who keeps it just ahead by 7/10 of a second of Mitch Robinson there, and of course rounding everything off, Rainer Kotzer and Elmer Mostert at the moment. Just taking a look at where we are at the moment down the back straight, we're then running of course Nicholas Hutchings. The last time around, Francois, 9/10 of a second between himself and Jamie Hall, a 10th, actually a few more, about 4/10 of a second faster on that last lap, and getting the fastest lap once again, a 1:22.210.
Very quick for a 650 around this circuit, nothing wrong with that. And Hutchings under the City of Cape Town Bridge leads out there over Jamie Hall. Keep an eye there now for the 3rd place as they come out. Lance Jonas and Matthew Van Niekerk is busy closing in on the back of Jonas. And then we got Wouter Smith, who's ahead of Braden Hutchings. So Wouter moving along swiftly. And Keegan Wasserfall, who moves up now past Wouter Smith, back up into P5. And the rest of the field working them out at turn 5.
Well, just waiting now for Adrian Solomon to come across the line. Here he comes now, Francois. Abigail Bosson closed up the gap by about half a second over the Adrian Solomon bike at the moment. Trevor Smith still hanging in there. Peter Hill, Mitch Robinson coming up a little bit, but Stavro Michel having a little bit of a tough time. The man who's retired from short circuit racing and putting all of his focus onto the main circuit.
Stavro Michel, great rider, lots of experience coming out of him. Having a look in turn 2 there, Abigail Bosson is closing down now on the back there of Adrian Solomon. Bones has got his work cut out because the lady's in the house, and she works her way out into Scepter Corner now up towards turn number 4, Sorrel Sweep, and she's closing hand over foot rapidly. She's going to be able to draft him. And
Rider off in turn 5, bike off in the sand there, Francois. Double wave yellows into turn 5, Pertamina Fastron. We'll have to see who that is. I see that Ryan Kutsia actually initially rejoined the race.
And he's off again in 5.
And he's off again in 5. So twice in the space of 5 laps there, Francois.
I thought lightning never strikes twice in the same place, but apparently it does. But coming out of turn 5, here is a great tussle in the Super Sport 300s. Abigail Boston is right there on the back of Adrian Solomon now as they come out of the City of Cape Town Bridge. Is she going to draft him down in towards holes? We'll have to wait and see. Down they go.
Well, she took 0.4 of a second, Francois, out in the previous lap of Adrian Solomon. They'll come towards the line now. It is going to be only 0.2 of a second as they charge into turn 1. Francois, this is mighty ding-dong stuff over here. And she's already on the exit of turn 2. Turn 1 had a go towards turn 2 now. Castro Corner. Watch out for that black bike with the pink and white leathers and that bright green quacker right ahead. They are nose to tail through the kink now in the 300 class. Solomon has got his work cut out for him.
He's on a 400 Kawasaki. He's got a 310 Yamaha sitting right up there behind him, and Abby is stroking that pony properly as she works her way up behind him. That is where, I reckon that's where the action is at the moment, Byron, as they work their way into Sorrel Sweep. Brilliant stuff. So it's all happening out there. Hutchings still leads out of a Hall, Jonas and Van Niekerk, but that 300 battle is going down the back straight down towards turn number 5. Will Abby be late on the brakes up behind Adrian? He's just as late on the brakes. It's a lovely tussle there between the two of them. Abby looks to dive there. Adrian keeps the door closed. Down into 5 they go. Abigail Boston right on the back of Adrian Solomon. We've got 3 laps to go. Oh, she tightens up the line and she gets right onto his back tire. It's absolutely brilliant stuff. I don't see any other tussles as close as this one. Adrian now gets a little bit of breathing space, working his way down to holes.
There they come down towards turn 1 now there, Francois. She's going to have to play the waiting game here a little bit. 3 laps left to go for them as they lean into turn 1, into Holes Hook Corner. She was very close on the last lap, out of turn 1 towards turn 2 now on the Joubert straight. She gets that head down, that little white helmet, really pursuing the man ahead of her, but there is still a little bit of daylight between them. If I look at the gaps there, Francois, it is 0.4 of a second.
Oh, she comes right up behind him. She actually let the gas go, otherwise she would have rammed into the back of him. She's got fantastic corner exit speed, does Abby. And that's a lot of short circuit experience coming to the fore there. And as you say, a little bit of international experience, but it pays homage to the sport when you bring that with you because you're there with the world's best.
Hutchings comes across the line now there, Francois, and Jamie Hall is still keeping it within 2.2 seconds, 2.1 seconds. Lance Jonas, though, I saw a little bit later on, of course, coming. There's a... Sorry, Frankie. Fight for the lead coming into turn 1. Actually, that's the fight for second, I think, as well. That is adding in there as well. But Lance Jonas comes across the line. Actually, Matthew Van Niekerk comes across the line now into turn 1. Keegan Wasserfeld comes up. Voter Slick. Garrett Goss. Brandon Hutchings. Brandon Hutchings actually coming up now into 7th position, Francois.
Yeah, I know. Lots of tussles and plenty around the circuit. We're going to try and pick up once again on those 300s because that has absolutely been where it's at. There they go down now into turn number 1. Still very much the same. Have a look there on screen at turn number 2. A couple of the back markers in the 650s working their way down into turn 3. But coming out towards Castrol Corner, Abby and Adrian are at it, hammer and tongs as they come up towards turn number 2.
Yellow flags are waving in before turn 4, Francois. Somebody has gone off of the circuit. There's a rider down by the fence in the sand at Sorrel Sweep. Bike 32 for the 3rd time today, Francois.
He's got problems. He's got problems. Brian Coetzee got major issues. No matter how many times he picks that bike up, it keeps going down. So he might have a tyre issue or something to that extent, or a brake issue. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, they'll have to be cautious through there. That cancels that section out for a passing opportunity, Francois. Where are our leaders of the 300s? Down the straight we go now, in the slipstream towards turn 5. I think Abigail Bosson is going to have her moment now. She looks towards the outside, but he's keeping the racing line over there. Onto the inside for Abigail Bosson.
Abby dives up on the inside. Is she going to shut out Adrian Solomon? She goes to the front. Abby goes to the front of the 300s. Oh, this is going to be a one down to the wire. Look, I can tell you something. Adrian's going to come back. He's got the drive. He's got a little bit more in the tank there as they come up towards the line. Adrian goes back to the front. He goes back to the front. Like I say, he's got a little bit more power, less weight. He's just got that slight advantage. But Abby must be clever. When she comes out of 5 and she's ahead, she must just shut all the doors. Use the line. Keep him there.
It's a very veteran ride from her. She's going to come on the exit of turn 1 now, Francois. She's not close enough maybe to launch anything into turn 2. Yeah, that was a superlative move as we watch now for our leaders coming through into turn 5 now. That will be Nicholas Hutchings. He's been inch perfect in this first race today.
Abby up on the inside, and Adrian comes back on the outside. This is all happening in the Power Sport 300s, Super Sport 300s.
Yeah, Hutchings wins there, Francois, but let's get back as Jamie Hall comes in second. Of course, Matthew van Niekerk has broken the gap from Lance Jonas. Let's get back to the 300s, though.
Coming up into Sarl sweep, Adrian Solomon ahead now. Can Abby get close enough now to draft him down to 5? She's going to have to come up with a bit of a different strategy if she wants to stay ahead of him.
Behind us.
She's not close enough to draft him. She might leave it late on the brakes. The flag is coming. Abby has been giving Adrian an absolute crackerjack race here. Adrian holds the up end into turn number 5. He's got the lead. Abby's not close enough to manage him. Can she draft him up towards the flag? Can she get close enough to draft him towards the flag? Let's have a look, see. Here they come up towards us. Adrian Solomon leads out. No, he's got the drag on her. He'll take checkers. Adrian Solomon over Abigail Boston. Man, what a race. What a race. Coming out of the Super Sport 300s. And the rest of the field coming up towards us. I think it's going to be Wouter Smith and Peter Hill. And Trevor Smith. What I'm saying about Trevor Smith over the line. Then the rest of the brigade come. Peter Hill. He's on the 650. And Raymond Alexander and Mitch Robinson over the line. Stavro Michel, Rainer Kotze, and Almi Mostert. Right, so that was the first of the year. Motorcycles, and wow, what an opening race. What great fighting and amongst the riders. Absolutely brilliant stuff.